Hey everybody, welcome back to the Quantum Show. What about that countdown intro, huh? Alrighty then. That seemed to build up the suspense for me. I don't know about y'all, but it did for me. Hey everybody in the chat, coming in. Intergalactic Angler, Sarah, Aussie Tiger, Boss, Aussie Boss, Raven, Diane, hey, and Tim. So far, sound good? Good, 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 good. Sound is good? Good. Okay, excellent. Yeah, what a week, y'all. Okay, and look at the look at the thumbnail and look at the title. Oh wow. I mean, there's even a Doritos commercial, a brand new Doritos commercial. I'm gonna try to play it here. We'll see what happens, right? Hey, Samantha Morris, the cat. Welcome back to the Quantum Show. And okay, hey Joe, I was there with Amy, and she was replaying a replay of News Nation, Ross Coulthart, and all the whistleblower stuff. Oh wow. Okay, hey Renee, and hey, oh well, thing keeps jumping around at me. Hey Storm. So I'm gonna try to replay that. I'm gonna try to play that Doritos commercial because there hasn't been an alien Doritos commercial in about 9 years, and I'm trying to remember what happened 9 years ago. But I'm kind of I think that was the biggest hubbub of the beginning of those three videos: Tic Tac, Go Fast, Gimbal. Yeah, I think it was the beginning of the hubbub for those. That was a trippy time. But I've got a researched show today. So it wasn't much research because, oh my God, I've been pounded by all this stuff. Everything is like being guided. We're all being guided. And it's not just about disclosure, high tech, AI, robotics, technical advances about everything. And no one is talking about the Chinese tech fair that went on. No one is talking about that. It was amazing. Damn near Atlantean. Okay, for real. I'm not even joking. I will leave a link after the show. I didn't have it now because it's not really part of it, but oh, just some of the stuff they got out there. And I don't mean robotics and the stuff that I typically talk about. I'm talking medical, imaging, holography. Why can't we go to a hologram show? We can't go to a hologram show in China, Japan, Korea, places in Europe. They're going to hologram shows like we go to the movies. Why can't we do that here? Stuff stuff is being held back on us. Okay, so I'm going to go over what I have written. All right, now I did. It's just I'm trying to keep a structure, and everything is being injected with our local politics, United States politics. Everything is being injected with politics. Why are so many of these people hung up on controlling our minds? I suspect I have an answer, but I'm only one person. So many people have a piece of it that I think that's why they're trying to control us because so many people are involved. I mean, population wise, that it takes so much to get this stuff happening and to get us going in the direction. But then you got our leaders who are trying to manipulate that direction, hence the politics. They're trying to control our minds, not only for disclosure, but for advancement of society. But then when they go there, they're uh, everything gets colored with ego and uh, want for control, and they want to control. I have to say it, control the narrative. They want not only with ufology, but with every aspect of life: healthcare, transportation, energy, entertainment. Man, Red Panda Koala kicked off of Twitter. Crazy. Okay. He was a big disclosure guy. He discussed things pretty good. I'm not personally a big fan of his, but I follow his work. Okay. Now, there is that new whistleblower coming out. Link will be in the description. Amy's channel has it on it right now. And she was on earlier today, along with a lot of other people, alien scientists. Um, well, he was one. Also, link in the description. There was a bunch of people rebroadcasting News Nation, and it was a good. And now that was like News Nation does like very structured, very scripted things. So all that stuff that's on there, it's already old news. And as far as disclosure goes, we already have disclosure. It's personal. I'm going to go there, right? I'm going to go there right now. Disclosure is not about telling the general public to accept it when you already have experience with it. All of us in the chat have had some kind of experience, okay? Be it CE5, face to face encounter, saw an actual UFO other than lights in the sky, have seen craft on the ground, have seen aliens, have had mental, psychic, that's a part of the show tonight, have had mental and psychic contact. Okay, that's me also. I did that. And well, these whistleblowers, these guys are all muggles. Okay, they have no, once you get the mental stuff going, it doesn't stop. Once that circuitry is alive in your head, it doesn't turn off. It's there. It's always turned on. You're always susceptible to it. And a lot of people I've noticed, they cannot handle it. They cannot deal with it. That they can't see what's going on, and the rest of their muggle brain can't make sense of it. So they end up on meds, in homes, very bad behavior, and it's unfortunate, right? Now that's not the only thing that can cause that, but that is one. And that's the one that we experience and we deal with it. We can handle that stuff. So, hey, Michigan UFO, Wayne, what's up, Wayne? Thanks for coming by. Didn't get to come on your show uh as we talked about. You're a busy dude, right? So am I. So we do what we were able to do, right? Same thing with you, Raven. Just so everyone knows, I've been asked to go on Raven Show and UFO Michigan UFO Paranormal Encounters. He wants to talk about things about ufology, things about cryptids, things about psychic events, right? And okay, one of the topics, one of the points is that they brought up, finally they brought it up, psionics. We know what that all is about: empathy, telepathy, communication, right? Telepathy. Um, CE5 is one, but it's not all of it. Okay, now that is really for the muggles. I got the handbook around here somewhere. Yeah, I bought the CE5 handbook. It was $12 from Stephen Greer. And though, all right, about Stephen Greer, I'm going to not exactly defend him. A lot of people think he's a grifter. And well, you can't do everything for free. I can. I can do everything for free. I don't have it built into me to want a lot of money, want a lot of control, want a lot of physical stuff. I will give away everything I own and leave, right? And No, I didn't. Not. I probably need one. I could probably write one, a Muggle handbook. But uh, oh man, I am so distractible. Okay, but all these people, the psionic and psychic abilities, that is part of this. And what these whistleblowers and people, Ross Coulthart, they're not taking it. They're just presenting. Ross Coulthart is really good at selling that sizzle. Now let me get back to Stephen Greer. Stephen Greer has to, well, he wants to make money. And I'm sure he's been read into the program, same as Ross Coulthart. Okay. If you want disclosure, we're going to give you disclosure, but you got to tell what we tell you to tell. You have to say what we tell you. Structured disclosure. And it is based on ego and what other people think is best for us. Nobody wants their heads to explode, right? Nobody wants our heads to explode. But we know what will make our head explode and what won't. We know what's best for us. So if they're talking about, they want disclosure, but they want structured disclosure. They want uh they want to control how the information. Well, all we got to do is talk. Oh, us here at the Quantum Show, yeah, not too many people are watching my perspective on things because no one can relate to it. I have a handful of people in here, 14, 13, 14 people watching right now that can relate to this because we've all had some kind of experience. We're geared for it. It's just that we are locked in this box. That's why people call it the Matrix. Well, we're in a tiny part of it. If you want to think of it as a matrix, we're in a tiny, tiny part of this. Yeah, we're in a matrix, but so is everybody else, right? We're just sectioned off, walled off for some reason. And for some reason, those others think that we have potential. I agree. I agree we have potential. And they're waiting for us to oh man. If you go with some people's interpretation, they want us to come to them as a society, as a group, not as individuals. And that is a long way off, y'all. Okay. And I'm not sure. Yeah. Tim, structured disclosure sounds a lot like politics as usual. Yep. That's right. And Aussie has said it like I need to say it. Please like, share, and subscribe if you hear your Quantum Screaming Engine. Oh, welcome to the Quantum Show. That's awesome. The night of the scrambled eggs. You've been watching the same TikToks I've been watching. Okay. And yeah, Screaming Engine has followed me here from Atari, my Atari days. I'm not really in my Atari days anymore, but that's all good. I still have one over there. Over there somewhere. And okay, but getting back to all of this, right? Psionics, we have the natural ability. It's just suppressed in our cultural structures in the United States. I can't speak for other cultural structures, right? All Atari from the 2600 to the 400, 800, 600, 800, the computers, all this stuff. Yeah. If you Atari, you are quantum. Hell yeah. I urge you to like and subscribe. This is where the Atari road leads to the Quantum Show, okay? So, okay, and we're back. I just wanted to shout out Scream Engine. Excellent name, by the way. Excellent name. Love that. And okay, it's our natural ability. Now, all of us have experienced this. You ever had a gut feeling where turn left, turn right, go in the door, don't go in the door? Okay. And I have a good feeling, I have a bad feeling, your gut feeling about a person or situation or choice. Now, that is not coming to us through a sign written in front of us says, do not enter this door for your own help. It's not there. All paths are like equally appealing and they want us to go through them. That's the way doors work, right? And it's us later that we put up our signs and stuff says keep out and all this stuff. Well, that's not the nature of doors. The doors open and allow passage. Okay. Our gut feelings are coming to us through another set of circuits, not sound, hearing, speech, smell, but they may include those. But we're talking about the psychic realm here. And yeah, CE5, remote viewing, gateway project, all of this is valid stuff. All of it is. Because we have, okay, something that they're leaving out in CE5 is the emotional aspect of stuff, the empathic aspect. They're excluding that because we have a fear button that gets triggered with any event, right? Any event. You see a car driving, we get scared of something about that. We see a person walking down the hallway, we get scared for some. Your imagination goes wild, right? I was asked by Michaela last week, how do I not get scared when I encounter these guys? First, they're not there for me, and I refuse fear. Fear is there for a reason, but we're talking about fear of being eaten by a bear or a lion. I've experienced both. It was a tiger in a zoo, and I don't care. I don't care how domestic a tiger is. You're always going to be like, monkey brain activate. Okay. If it's not in a cage, even if it is in a cage, monkey brain activate, and it will, because it did on me. And it was in a zoo in Germany. It was a nuts situation. We got to the zoo at the very end, right before they closed. Everything was falling asleep. All the critters were all the animals were falling asleep. But down a path, a long path, straight path, I saw a Bengal tiger trot across, and I was like, "Nope, I'm leaving. I don't care." Monkey brain. Now that's the kind of fear that we have. Okay. Now, anything past that, like if we're gonna get eaten or bit or attacked or whatever, we can manage that a lot easier because of rational, higher mind thinking. All right. And when Michaela asked me that, I thought about that already, and I refuse fear, and it's hard to do that. But when I learned Buddhism techniques, when I learned all that, it teaches you how to compartmentalize your emotions. Fear goes over here, and that's one compartment. Hungry goes over here. Every emotion, every feeling has a compartment, and you feel it and you compartmentalize it, and then you can manage it a lot easier. Of course, Buddhism has a failing, it leaves you feeling hollow. And that's how I ended up going to paganism, because there was still a hole there that I could not fill. And paganism did it for me. Now, something else they were talking about, the psionic aspect, is that humanity has figured out how to mentally connect to some sort of machine. I don't think it's our machine. I think we found it, or it was given to us, or it was coached. I don't have any information on that. But we are the machine. We are the connecting force there, okay? And the emotional aspect is cut out of any machine that we have. That's why I think that AI is going to be invaluable in first contact as we understand it. We have already been contacted, but first contact for the world. AI is going to be our emissary, the bridge between us and them, because they don't want to get eaten by us by coming down, and we don't want to get overwhelmed by them by going up, aka uh, the abduction scenario and Whitley Strieber and all that stuff, right? So they don't want to get eaten by us because we're the wild animals in the reserve here, and we don't want to get overwhelmed by them. They're the ones inside the duck blind, and they're trying to observe us, right? So we reach out. We're not capable of communication with them very well because the way they communicate is way different than the way we expect communication. And it's the same way, both ways. Their HDMI wants to talk to our VGA. I don't know how to say it any differently, right? And right, open. So I love how you put that open source contact. Do it. You can do it on your own. You really can, but you have to have a disciplined mind. Don't be scared. First of all, don't be scared because that is a firewall. That's a good way to put it. I think of everything in computer terms, right? Thank you, Scream Engine. Open source contact. I'm going to take that. And Scream Engine is saying, I've already had all this disclosure I could need by 10 years old. It's been a long time waiting for everyone to be ready to hear the truth. Yeah. Oh man. It wasn't when I was 10. I was already older. Maybe. I don't know. I still have to make my way to Florida or somewhere to be able to I want to do a regression and find out what's going on because I have all these things that can have to be memories because why would I make up this stuff? You know, there's been a lot. I can't go over all of it. We're at 23 minutes. Luckily, I'm not halfway through with my coffee yet. So, yeah, thanks, Screen. And okay, let's go through the little ones. Hearing voices. All right, hearing voices. I've noticed in a lot of the modern cases of young people hearing voices, I'm thinking of one person in particular. I met them, and they were being under some kind of a treatment. That hearing voices was self-doubt, and they were giving themselves a monologue of their own self-doubt. It wasn't outside, it was totally inside. But their inner monologue was the one. Sorry, I just caught a whiff of something. Oh, okay. Anyway, it's in this person's case, it was an inner monologue of themselves with their own self-doubt. And his father told me that he hears voices and he's under treatment and you shouldn't encourage it. I'm like, hold on. I think there's something else going here, right? I think that there is something internal happening, yes, but I don't think it's demons. By the way, still not demons, okay? Aliens are still not demons. Demons are demons, aliens are aliens, not demons. And he's internalizing, he's making sense of it. That's I don't know, observing this kid and his dad and the way he was talking to himself, he was listening to his self-doubt, not about uh something from outside. The kid was not schizophrenic. He was totally normal, other than they told me he heard voices. I've got to figure out, Because off the top, when you tell somebody I hear voices, they're going to think what they've been told, that person's crazy. Well, we're so okay. We are so complicated that all that is something, all of that is relevant. Everything is relevant. And I heard it put a certain way. Our brains are filled with tapioca pudding that tripped so hard it invented calculus. Why not? That's valid, right? And the physical structure of our brains is beyond genius. It is way beyond genius. We couldn't do it. We try to. And then when we ask AI to do it, they come up with something crazy in our reckoning, but it's not crazy. It's just kind of natural evolution type stuff, right? So that kid, I don't think he needed any kind of meds. I think he needed counseling on how to deal with his inner monologue. Dad didn't want to hear nothing about it. Okay. His dad didn't. We're friends. We're friends. We're still friends. I just hadn't heard from him in a while. He lives in Kentucky. And yeah, that's part of the psionics aspect. Because when you get down to it, if you don't know yourself, you can't experience these things without an ego trip or without some kind of coloration of what it's supposed to be. What is it supposed to be? Well, that's the Jedi Order. Okay. Any structure you give all this stuff will help it become more structured. And I know that sounds kind of like a looping statement, but that's just the way it is for humans. Okay. There's a lot involved in it. There's emotional, there's physical, there's our own physical reactions, goosebumps when the spiritual. And well, when I heard Ross Coulthart and all his people talking about psionics, I'm like, y'all are missing a whole lot of this, but it's a 1 hour show and they're a bunch of muggles, grew up in super rich muggle land. So what do I expect from them, right? And I don't know about no kind of technical interface. Right. Okay. Scream engine. I think intuition, etc., resides in the spaces and folds, not in the brain, like a fingerprint on the collective ball of elastic consciousness, or something like that. Something about the shape. Yeah. Well, I need to know more about that. Something about the shape, because I don't think consciousness is here. I think it's here. I think it's out there, and we are the interface. We're the we're the keyboard, mouse, and monitor, speakers, right? Let me see here. Okay, plasmatic interdimensional flatulence. Okay, and yeah, okay. Well, let me move around here. Directed disclosure, like someone said earlier. I think it was Tim. Sounds like politics as usual. Yep, politics as usual. Because disclosure is personal, and we have and stop disclosure. I'm not going to go over the Jesus thing again. I've been over that. And we can start and stop it as we want. But communication is a two-way street. I called out that day and they chose to pick up the phone, so to speak, right? They didn't have to. And he chose to communicate with me, but we were being monitored by something. I could tell they were there too. But it was too much information. His raw data coming into me made no sense. And it went from basic feelings of curiosity, greeting, and thankfulness to all this other stuff, plus images, plus emotions that didn't correspond in my head, because he was I say he, I don't know what this person was. This person was telling me things that my mind couldn't comprehend because it was in his context. I hope I am making that clear. If I was to video this in infrared and no color, we would know that it's in infrared and we could imagine the color. It may or may not be correct, but if I was to put sounds to it and those sounds don't correspond with what we're seeing on the screen, then it would not make a lot of sense. Sorry about that. It would not make a lot of sense to us. But to him, it did, because not necessarily does he see and perceive things the way we do with this hardware versus his hardware. For example, he had multifaceted eyes. We don't have that. I got the raw data from multifaceted eyes. It was hard to comprehend. Okay. And I'm looking at this stuff now. Personal disclosure, right? No politician or government leader or local leader or even a cult leader is going to tell us what we can find out on our own, because we have to interpret things the way it makes sense to us, not the way it makes sense to anybody. You will never achieve. I have never been able to achieve doing something somebody else's way. I have to figure it out on my own, do it my own way, figure out what works, what doesn't work, trial and error, just how we all grow. And I think of my coworker watching his head explode, and me talking about having R. Keith Andrews on. His head, he glitched out. He was, and he couldn't make sense of it. I've seen it several times with different people. And it is, I look at him and I see all the people like him, even people with a lot of experience doing stuff in the world. They are not ready for it. They cannot handle it. They refuse it, and that is their right. That is their manifestation. They don't even know they're manifesting. I need to get with this guy, not my coworker, but this other person. I want to get with this guy, and I want to talk to him about any weird experiences he's had, things that just he dismissed. Because when you dismiss stuff, that's when you stop noticing them. I don't dismiss anything. If I see somebody at the store, I've seen them around town. They're hiding amongst us, right? Off-worlders, ultra terrestrials, all of them. They're here. Okay. But I was watching Amy's coverage of all that, and we were all talking in the chat, and I was like, this Ross Coulthard really can sell that sizzle. He goes over and over and over and says the same thing like 5 different ways. I wanted to say, okay, move along, get on with it, please. You just said this. I get it. And yeah, that's what I took from that show, that this is just more. Now, okay, there are some changes coming up, and I'm ready for it. I want disclosure that will change my life. That's what I want. Okay. Knowing that things are out there, what does that do for us? Knowing that the governments have had contacts, what is that doing for us? What kind of decisions can we make differently then? Well, I want a flying car. Why can't I have one? Right? I've got all these projects cooking or stagnating in one way or another. Why can't we implement these things? Right? I went over last week, or I meant to go over last week. Australia has 2 models of hydrogen car right now. Why don't we have it? A lot of the modern world has holography shows. Why can't I go down, buy a ticket at Cinemark, and go see one of those shows? What's being held back from us? Sorry. Had an interesting day today. And then I didn't know Amy was going to come on putting all that stuff from Ross Coulthart and alien scientist Jeremy. I didn't know they were going to be rebroadcasting. It was very interesting. And let me see here. Screaming just says, "Oh yeah, yeah, you were there with me watching. Ross is dangerously seductive in his reasoning and presentation. A perfect operative in all this. I hope he's legit on the trail of something definitive, but he takes it to the unknowable every time. He's been read in. He is one of the people that is being told you can say what we tell you to say, and he's very eloquent in his delivery of things, but y'all, his accent, his particular accent, makes me think that I'm being talked to by a hobbit. Okay. And he's like disbelieving of so much. And then all of a sudden, in his structure, he's believing of it. And I can only listen to him for so long before I have to take a break. Right. Because, yeah, seductive is a good word for it, because he just sounds so, I don't know, rough, silky. I don't know if that is a good representation, but that's what it sounds like to me. Rough, silky, smooth. Yeah, mesmerizing. Mesmerizing is a good word for it too. Yeah, and he has a tiny little eyes. I guess I got tiny little eyes too. I don't know. And he has that accent and the pitch and timbre of his voice. He is really good and mesmerizing. Yeah. They found the right guy. Neurolinguistics. Yeah. They found the right guy to deliver the messages they want to hear. He's a great spokesperson. But he's only being told he can say so much. And I get it, I guess. Living and working among the muggles. Okay. I live with 2 roommates, and neither of them have noticed any kind of haunted activity here. I notice it a lot. The cemetery, no one's, no, only me. And that made me think, am I experiencing this by myself? Then Adana disappeared. And I was like, nope, this is real. Adana was just gone. She walked through portal, walked through, I don't know what. And it made me think, am I just making this stuff up? But then that happened. And nope, not making it up. Not making it up at all. This is real. So I'm self-checking myself all the time. And when somebody like Ross comes on, sweet talking, eh, pretty much sounds almost like aggressive pillow talk. I don't know. Does not sound like anybody else. Sounds, well, Scream Engine said it. He's very mesmerizing. He You want to hear him talk. It's almost like Mr. Ballin, but Mr. Ballin has a different flavor, right? And I'm gonna have to look at the link that you sent. I'm off of Facebook right at the moment. I just do this. Yeah, all this, I'll have to look at the link. Okay. And hey, Cold, I saw you there too. Yeah. They showed, not publicly, only on News Nation. He was talking about, look how graceful the egg rolls. I'm like, what are you? Look how graceful it rolls. Give me a break, of course, something round is gonna roll when it's let gone on a uneven surface. Come on now. I don't need that kind of buttering up. Speaking of uh, speaking of whatever, right? I don't need that kind of romanticizing. There we go. I don't need that kind of romance put in. Look how smoothly and gracefully the egg rolls as the helicopter lays it down. What the hell? Come on now. And it's that kind of thing that appeals to the horror fan in all of us. Okay. The we need the people who listen to Stephen King, right? The people who read Stephen King. He's good at it. He's good at making things wordy and smooth and attractive and so wow. And oh, there we go. Yep. Just descriptive video for alien porn enthusiasts and gotta butter them up. Yeah, I guess we are talking to muggles, so gotta butter them up. Gotta speak their language, I suppose. But yeah, I wanted to, you know what? I wanted to see if I could play a video here. There is literally no dialogue. This is the Doritos commercial. They're really hitting the muggles where they live. Okay. There's no dialogue, so sound is not really that important. Let me see. Can I make it work? All right. There is a. I'm gonna try to make it work. Get back to it. It's a 30-second commercial, and it kind of pokes fun at ufologists. Um, but I'm gonna try to let me try that again. See, I gotta do this a certain way. Let me go ahead and just play it. I doubt there's gonna be any sound on your end. Okay. Let me get back here. Let me adjust it to where that's maximized. There's probably no sound. The aliens really want the Doritos. Oh, and they use their force beam to slam them around. And then, oh, this is the kicker. Watch, watch, watch. Let's go and slice. I hope everyone could see that. Please tell me if you at least saw it. There was not very much dialogue in it. Okay. So it's mostly visual. It was like, what? Is that how we have to talk to humans? Yeah, that's how they have to talk to us on mass marketing and fast food and junk food. That's the way they talk to us, right? Okay, I hope everybody could at least see it because I know you couldn't hear it. Link is in the description for that commercial also. You saw it, but you didn't hear it. Okay, good deal. I'm glad you saw it. Glad you're able to link in the description. Go watch it. It is funny, right? Um, so that's another form of disclosure. They're getting us ready. But yeah. I would love to see something like that. And what is that? There are drinks for sale on the PX that we don't get. There's a couple of them. I can't think of it. I it came around after I was in, but yeah, they're buttering up. He said it. You said it. You said it. Got to butter them up. People and getting them ready for it. Now, I think what we're gonna have is a disclosure of technology that will help us. I don't know. They seem to want to manipulate us in a certain direction before we venture out mentally, so to speak, right? And it seems, and I'm suspecting they're going to unveil technology first rather than contact, because we're definitely not ready for that. As long as there are people out there who think they're demons, it's not going to happen, right? I'm pretty sure that the Aboriginal people and the wild men, they already have contact, I bet. I mean, let's bring in the cryptids, okay? And I really like the way, what's his name? There is a guy, he's a psychic, and he talks with his eyes closed. Raven, you know this guy. I can't remember. He's bald and he has a channel. Link is not in the description. I didn't know I was going to talk about him. And every time someone says hello to him, he goes, "Hello, and a good day to you," and stuff like that. He is saying that Bigfoot, no, Bashar? Yeah, Bashar. Yeah, Bashar. Now, I'm kind of on board with some of it because reality is bigger than even Bashar. That guy, Bashar, right? But there's more to it. Okay, now this is something I can jive with, is the Bigfoot phenomena, right? They are us. They are humans before we were. The evolutionary path they took is one that they took the unchanged humans. Okay, they're the unchanged ones because all the sightings, what they describe. Okay, Bigfoot people, we got to get better at our descriptions, right? He was giant. What does that mean? He was 10 feet tall. Okay, that's a start. What did he look like? Gigantopithecus. What do you know about You don't know what you're talking about. We need to get better with our descriptions, okay? Learn to do forget your emotions, okay? And yeah, the stuff's scary, but you got to turn that off to get a good description. When you see something, that's anomalous, okay? They're not supposed to be able to be seen. They don't want to be seen. Bigfoot people, we got to get better at describing our encounters. Now, I've never had an encounter, but I'm putting myself in there just for, get y'all into it. Yeah, Bashar. Hey, Samo, welcome back. And I know I saw somebody in here that I didn't say hi to. I think I saw OB2, Rachel. Welcome back. Okay, yeah. I unfortunately don't have a whole lot of Bigfoot. No, we got weird stuff around here, but not Bigfoot. But Bashar here, and Samo says it. Like I should say this more. If you're here, you're quantum. Of all the cats and all the videos, you ended up here. You could be watching Ross Coulthart, but you're not. And okay, but Bashar said that Bigfoot is what we would have become had we not been changed. Changed? How so? By the Anunnaki. And I do think that's where we come from. We were modified by the Anunnaki. But anyway, see, this is the stuff they can't talk about on Ross Coulthart. This is not something that they are ready to deal with. Okay, they are not ready to deal with the Anunnaki, even though the government thinks we are. And there's another thing, right? Okay, I think you're talking about Bashar. If he's real, I think he's highly intellectual and possibly ultra terrestrial. I think we're all star seeds, and we all have something talking to us. I think we all have something talking to us. Okay, here's the thing. I don't know if they wouldn't. I don't know if they ever are. When they come here, they're locked into our part of the matrix. Nothing can live that long here. out there, outside of this part of our reality, they can live that long. Okay. Same goes for Bigfoot. And traces of them, I want to know about that Anunnaki tomb somebody discovered under a river. That's what I want to know about. But I can't find anything. And there's something else. There's one other thing I saw, and it was, what's his name? That dude, Jeremy. He's the Mount. He replaced Elizondo. Jeremy Corbell. Cowbell. Jeremy Corbell. Okay, Raven. The Vatican is a portal place. They're interacting. Yep, Corbell. Jeremy Corbell. Now, I'm not going into the Vatican tonight. That's a big story, right? But Jeremy Corbell, he was saying that he has it on. He has been told with great authority and great veracity that something is on its way, and that is a lie. I'm like, hold up here. Now, I've been listening to a lot of people from all sides of ufology, even the spiritual, say something is on its way, right? What Corbell is saying is the narrative that our governments want us to not freak out. What if something comes around, right? I've said it before. I'll refresh right now. I don't think we've been developing AI for reasons of advertising and research and development of our own technology. I think we've been fielding AI and improving AI so it can be an emissary to talk to the techno civilization that is on its way. And I believe those AI are going to be our scouts to talk to those AI scouts. And I'm just waiting for those AI scouts to start showing up. Watch your GPS, watch your Google Maps, make sure everything seems to be working. And because that is how they're going to come in. They're going to come in through our technology, because our technology is getting so good. These quantum computers, they are going to allow us, with the help of AI, to talk out there, right? Imagine a quantum computer hooked up to a hadron collider. Holy, wait for it. Now the idea is out there. Somebody's going to hook up the hadron collider data streams up to a quantum computer directed by AI. That's science fiction. We got all that in real life. AI, check. Quantum computing, check. Hadron collider, check. All check. Put them all together, you got Star Trek. Well, Star Wars. We're waiting on, like, the Hadron Collider. If anyone is not familiar with it, right? Don't think of it as something that opens portals and something scary. That's the narrative talking, okay? Look at what they're actually doing and look at what they're actually finding. It's acting like a big radio, like a giant ham radio, okay? It's making all these weird noises. It's doing all these unexpected things, and we're doing our best to keep track of it. Let AI keep track of it. Let AI come up with scenarios with the use of quantum computers, because apparently our computers can't keep up, right? So, oh yeah, have hook up all three together, and you have the new reality, right? And you know what? If it's here, it's there. I bet they've already done it. I bet they've already done it. And let me see. Scream is saying, once detection, mining, and milling of raw materials is fully automated, we are officially out of work and no longer in control of AI. Well, see, we have something they don't. We have, I call it the quantum link, right? Gut feeling. We have that creativity, that spark. They don't have that. They can get to a level and operate at that level indefinitely, but they can't proceed from there. They can't excel. They can't go further. We can. We look at things so differently. And there's no amount of programming that we could put into a machine to have it be creative, right? It just can't do it. It's it's um it's derivative, right? Now, a lot of art is derivative, but uh how did anyone think to derive it from what it was derived from? That's the creative spark, right? What would make it look good? Look at all the homemade TIE fighters. Look at the pictures of TIE fighters, right? That people have come up with, people have made, and they're all derivative of the original. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Cool. Well, thanks for the update, Diane. I'm going to be doing my own thing tonight. And shout out Bigfoot Michigan Rob. That's who she's talking about. Bigfoot Michigan Rob. And so his show is coming on right now. Okay, great. Shout out Bigfoot Michigan Rob, friend of the show. Link in the description. I consider him a friend of the show. Okay. Is everyone thoroughly confused? So let me go over. I'm this is the end of the first hour, so let's look at this stuff, right? Social media has been pumping us full uh of the narrative. And it's a lot of it is in preparation for giving the muggles who are not listening to alien stuff, giving them preparation to listen to it by I see my stepdad in the other room. He is a prime example. So muggle. So muggle. It is like almost unbearably muggle. Okay. It is so hard to talk to him sometimes. Even in normal conversation, normal, and he'll say stuff that is so two-dimensional. I am just, how can you exist like this? No wonder you're miserable, right? Yeah, I said it. Okay, but we have social media is programming us, and they are pouring it on Blue Sky, Red Dot, whatever those fucker things are called. Right there's my one for the night, right? And it's crazy. And all these whistleblowers, they're all on scripts. If they're not on scripts, they're being Boeinged. Okay. And psionics is a normal part of our makeup. It's just we have it all turned off because of cultural bias. Oh, you're making things up. No, you're crazy. Look into it. Now they're starting to look into it in some circles. Most circles, no. The muggles are not ready. And let's see, creativity. They're leaving out the emotional aspect of the technical interface. Okay, went over that. Directed disclosure, just said they're trying to do all this stuff, getting everybody ready for, and I think they're going to disclose tech first. Some tech first. Yeah, the whistleblowers, they're all on a script, man. Listen to them. They're all saying now the guy with the egg video and the infrared all green, and the crazy round eyes, which is that right there tells me it's true. But they're on script. They've been read in. They're being allowed to say what they're saying. I have been technically, you could say I'm a whistleblower because I talked about my mental contact with it. Nobody believes me, right? I don't care. I don't need anybody to believe me. It happened. And the whole stuff about the ghosts and uh, uh, I want to do the dream world experiments. Have y'all heard about that? Okay, that's another show. Maybe in the maybe in the panel we'll talk about it. Dream world communication. People have been, and I'm like, I've had this idea for years. I want to do that. Yeah. Yep. They get disappeared. They get. Mm, thank you. I'm glad you guys believe me, though I'm not trying to sell nothing. But speaking of selling things, the shirts got here. So I'm gonna have 10 shirts for sale on my buy me a coffee website. I have not set it up yet. I've got them sitting in a box, brand new, protected from everything. And it is going to be, let me grab the shirt. Some of y'all are new, have not seen the shirt. Let me get it. This is mine. This is the one I own for me. I got it as a test run to see how it would come out. And it came when I was talking to Keith. When someone else, now I like this shirt too. I got this one on Amazon because droids. Do not butter the bread of confusion. Oh, yeah, that's disclosure. That is going to be for sale soon on my coffee shop. I guess you could call it my buy me a coffee shop. Okay, okay. But I am gauging interest, right? Thank you. I'm gonna be putting up a link when I get it all set up. And there were similarities between your encounter and my encounter, how these people were to each other. Right. Okay, okay. Well, Cold, I might get you to come on. Don't end up like RC Overlander, Bronklander. Don't be that guy, okay? He tries to run that. He tries to run it. I will. There seems to be demand now. In I will wrap up the show now about the t-shirts. Right now, to protect everyone involved, to guarantee everything stays on the up and up, I'm gonna have people order them. Okay, so I don't want your personal information beyond what the coffee shop allows me to use for shipping labels, etc. Okay, because I don't need that. The AIs are being used by the bad guys. I don't want nobody's information getting out. So I want to depend on uh the coffee shop infrastructure. Okay, coffee shop, PayPal, etc. All that. I want to. They have security in place to make sure. And I you know what? I want to give all the shirts to you guys, but that would involve me getting personal, and I'd rather just y'all make an order. Okay. Um, I'm gonna make them zero profit. Okay. I'm not trying to make money off of you guys by this shirt, by using these shirts. But that's just the language we speak. If I don't try to do a money thing, they're gonna look at me funny. And I'm talking about like people who oversee commerce, right? Right. Um, well, I don't have my logo on it yet. This is a trial run. This is going to be the first gen, and that's the one I showed you is first gen. And I'm going to have another one. And Aussie Boss is giving me the red light here. Says, please like and subscribe if you're here, you're quantum. Okay, Aussie. Moderator says, Nathan, you're over an hour. You need to wrap it up. Okay. You did your show update. That's great. Okay. Yep. And also me and Amy are officially out of coffee soap. Uh-oh, we got to start doing that. Got to start doing that. I've been given the red light. Thanks, everybody. Be back in 20, 30 minutes. Time for a refill, time to recharge, and keeping it quantum. Pushing buttons. Pushing.